Welcome to my desk door. The first thing you're going to notice is my inviting voice with pretty music behind it. You'll also notice that I don't care about your ears enough to invest in a microphone. Who cares about audio? Throughout this video, I'll tell you how I have everything set up, and then I'll follow up with this is how I have it. You don't have to do it, but this is how I do it. It has a passive-aggressive elitism to it, but that's cool because I don't think you can think for yourself.
Yeah. All right, now I'm playing. I actually have a microphone. No, I don't know what it is. Just every YouTube video looks the same. It's ridiculous. Minimalism seems to be this thing that you just kind of copy, almost like an outfit. Like, oh, get white, wear this, do that. As long as it's organized, it's kind of minimalist. It's just super weird. But whatever, as far as this video goes, I'm not going to say it's the most minimalist thing. It's just very, very clean and minimal. However, I have a few parts because I found what's important to me, and I've narrowed it down quite a bit, and that's the minimalist part of it. You're not gonna find plants everywhere and stuff like that, and I'm not gonna talk to you in a soft voice or like you're an idiot. So I hope you like this video, and let's get into it. So the problem I have with most desks online that call themselves minimalist, it's like you have plants on it, you have Bric-à-Brac, you have monitor stands, a whole bunch of like mats and all this stuff. It's just crazy. It's not minimal at all. It's just cozy and organized, and it's ridiculous to me. For me, I thought that I would just kind of make this video to show you I feel like mine's a little bit more minimalist. Now, it's not a competition, and this is how I do it, but you don't have to do it this way. It's just how I do it. But no, really, it's just crazy to me. So this is how I got to having a lot less things, and I want to tell you why and how I got here. So the first thing I did was I removed everything off of the desk. So it was literally just a desk and legs. And I was like, beautiful, that's perfect, that's minimal. And then I was like, all right, so let me put my laptop on there. Ah, that's perfect. That's all I need. That's all I want. And then I was like, oh, I'm spending like 12, 14, 16-hour days on my computer. This little screen at this angle was just starting to hurt my neck and my lower back. So I was like, all right. So I already have a standing desk, so I tried to adjust it that way. So it was just the laptop and standing desk. Again, it just didn't really help the whole situation. So I already had a bunch of stuff, so I started including things like the monitor, and then that was like, all right, now it's already cluttered. I have this laptop and this monitor, and it's just ugly to me. So I put the monitor up on a stand, like on an arm, and then I realized that was actually the most bang for my buck. Now looking back, like if you were to do one thing to clean up the surface, do that, and it will instantly just save you so much real estate on the desk. It's crazy how large of a footprint monitor stands. So I recommend that. You'll see in the back some LED lights on my monitor, and those are daylight balanced to keep a pure white so that when I'm editing or doing any color work, it just keeps my eyes pretty neutral. Versus if you look up at the projector here, you'll see kind of more of a candle light, which is what you see generally for nighttime balanced lights and so on. And you'll see the contrast of the white lights, the daylight balance below. You'll see that it's just a lot more pure white and true white, so that whenever I'm doing any editing, it just is more accurate. Okay, so the next thing I bought was a Logitech wireless mouse. I got it from eBay. Didn't care if it was new. It's a wireless technology, and it works flawlessly, and the battery is ridiculously good. I barely ever charge it, and it has that side scroller for editing and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's pretty perfect. So after that, I brought back in my mechanical keyboard. It was a Ducky Shine. It was wired. It was great. Had it forever, but it was kind of, a lot of the LEDs were broken and stuff like that. I was like, I want a mechanical keyboard still, and I want wireless. Those are my two criteria for a new one. I also wanted it compact, and I found one. It's great. It's a Keychron. It's a Bluetooth wireless keyboard. It's awesome. I'll make a whole video on that if you guys want. It's really comfy, and it fits my needs exactly. I will say that I think that if they did the wireless dongle, it would have been better. But more on that again later. So I did get the RGB version. I wanted to be able to tone down some specific tones for like at night and just not have that harsh white in my eyes. So naturally, everything is pretty much where everybody kind of has it, but then they start putting in their speakers and they have like smaller ones or big ones, whatever, and they're on the desk. And I think that's the biggest flaw that people do, is they have the speakers on the actual desktop. And I think that when I moved mine away and off to these shelves that I have, that was the smartest thing I did to just feel like it's super minimal. It's so good. The sound is just a little bit better. Depending on your setup, but it's so smart. I see people with their speakers on their desk. I'm like, oh, you're missing out, because if you just get those things off, it just feels so much better. It's crazy. Now, I'm a designer, so I'm on a Wacom about 90% of the day. I wanted a wireless one, and that was kind of the plan. So I upgraded to the newest Wacom, which is Bluetooth wireless. Unfortunately, it's just so inconsistent. Like sometimes it works perfectly, sometimes it doesn't. If I shut off the keyboard's Bluetooth, then it works perfect, but then it turns on, sometimes it interferes. I'm not sure if it's just a Bluetooth situation or my computer's Bluetooth card, but it's kind of annoying. So times when I'm just like really need this connection, I have a wire tucked behind my monitor just to be able to plug in. I got a white cable just to have it blend in with the desktop. It's not too bad. I would prefer 0 cables, but this is fine for now. And then lastly, at the desk, I have my chair. It's a Herman Miller Aeron. In the city here, all the production houses I was working, there was always this chair, and I was like, this is a very comfortable chair. Let me look into it. It's pretty expensive. And I was like, well, every time I sat in a different chair, I realized that my back hurt and I just got really uncomfortable. Then I found out that chairs are pretty much kind of rated for the duration that you can sit in it. And again, I'm in 14, 18-hour days in a chair, and I care about my lower back. It's already bad enough as it is. I have the standing desk, but still, when I'm sitting, I want it to be good. So I thought that the smartest investment, which I've had for about 4 years now, maybe 5, is a chair. So this has lasted through 3 computers, and I think it's the best investment you can do for your whole desk setup is the chair you sit in. It's the one constant that doesn't date over time. I see people get fashion chairs, and I think they must not be at their desk that long, or they just don't care about their body. It's crazy. But this chair is so good. It's breathable. It's perfect. It's a perfect chair. All right, so the speakers are sitting on these shelves. One of them is a radiator, and the other one is just a whole bunch of gear to feed my home theater. So my speakers are these Polk bookshelf speakers. I've had them for maybe a decade. In general, when you invest in audio video equipment, you always want to put more money into the audio because it just doesn't date. Similar to the chair for the desk, it's just not going to really get old. They're really great speakers. They sound terrific. I've had them in larger rooms and smaller rooms. And they're sitting on bookshelves that I made is a whole bunch of stuff. We have my PS4, we have a power surge thing I had from my old desktop, and I have this little amp I'll talk about in a minute, and it's just a mess. This stuff is going to be changing out. I actually might switch to some Bluetooth speakers, but we'll see. These ones are pretty perfect. Now the coolest part is in the back of the room, I have this Epson 8350 projector. I've had it, I don't know, like a decade. It's crazy. It's a great projector, but whatever. It's just kind of a little bit long. But it is all connected. Everything is connected to one system. So this projector is actually operating as a third monitor, so to speak. So at the drop of a hat, I just pull down that monitor and it becomes the home theater. It's just a big screen. So I can actually work from my projector. I can watch movies, whatever I want to do, and then I just close it up and it just automatically shuts off that monitor. It's great. I set it up this way as I wanted to consolidate both an entertainment sitting living room area and my desk so that there was just one less area of technology. Now it's a concealed, consolidated entertainment system. Now, I used to install home theaters for a living for like a decade, and there was Elite Screens was one of the biggest and best companies of screen makers. So I just went for that. I didn't want to mess around. I have made my own screens and I've bought a few other ones, and this one is hands down the best. The fact that it's straight and never warped and just works, just reliable, is pretty perfect. And I could go on about it, but I think you get the idea. So for a home theater, you'll notice that there is no subwoofer, and it's pretty awesome actually. The setup is, there's this little amp I got, it's like 25 bucks, and then it runs to a bass shaker, and that's about like 40 bucks maybe less. And I attach that to the underside of the couch. So the cool thing with bass shakers is where subwoofer's low end cuts off and you can't actually hear it humanly or actually with the physical properties of the subwoofer, this keeps going. So you're getting super duper low tones. So those rumbles and stuff, you really, really feel it. And if you balance it out correctly, it feels so good. Yes, it's a gimmick thing. You might want to turn it up if you did do this at first. And it's pretty great, but then you eventually go, okay, this is really annoying, distracting, whatever. And then you'll find a sweet spot. I will link below to the things I've got. These are the ones that I have. They're so good. It's really cheap investment. I had it before underneath my desk and that worked really awesome, but it's amazing. It totally replaces all the low end properties for my system. I really love this whole setup. It's so cool. There's definitely some things I want to tweak and change over time, but I'll be moving by the end of the year, so it's going to be totally different. Now, I've had a lot of desk setups because I'm freelance, so I must have worked, I honestly, it's countless amount of desks that I'll sit behind, of whether they're just stock setups or kind of just somebody else's desk I'm taking over for the day or week. And, you know, you really, really get to know desks through experience, and I found that this is pretty much perfect for me. I would love to fix the Wacom issue. I don't know how. If you do know how, that would be great. Probably my next computer, I'll check the Bluetooth. So at this point, I'm pretty in love with my whole setup. It's great. It's gonna last me for a while. I'll be moving by the end of the year, so it'll change, but I've worked at so many different places as a freelance designer, and you know, you just get into all these different desks. Some are just a stock desk, some is somebody else's you're taking over for a while, and you really get the experience of understanding how all these different setups are, and you figure out what's important really quickly. And this is what I think is the best setup, which is, to sum it up, monitor, wireless keyboard, speakers that are not on the desk, monitor that is not on the desk, and the mouse or Wacom depending on your whole setup. I honestly barely use the mouse, so that's pretty much my setup. And then a good chair. You know, that chair is everything, really. But for me, it's a tool and I make my living from it, so I want to have it as minimal as possible, but still being able to do the job without interfering it in any way. I don't need the junk on the desk at all. All right, so if you guys have any issues with minimizing, styling your desk, styling your interior, personal style, talking to women, all that business, I would love to hear about all of your struggles in your lifestyle, because this is the stuff that I really want to focus on in 2020. Just really, really nail down a way that you can improve your life without me telling you how to do it. I want to help you find your own way. I will be doing coaching soon, maybe by summer. I'm not sure, actually, if you reach out. I'm happy to talk to a few of you and just let me know what you struggle with, and I'll see what I can do to help. And I hope you like this video, guys. All right, so I just want to wrap this up really quick because it's the internet, and I was just kind of busting some people's balls in the beginning, and it's all in good fun. I just want you guys to know that. I love all of you minimalist channels. I really support you. I just saw some commonalities, and including myself, I did the same thing. But I think it's kind of time to move on from that and just kind of start putting in our own artistic and creative personalities into the minimalism, or at least how we're showing minimalism. I feel like it's really doing a big disjustice to minimalism as a whole to have it all following the same trend and being the same. Minimalism isn't minimalist styling. There's a big difference, and I really want to go into this in depth at some point. But just to wrap up this video, I just see a lot of times people doing minimalist styling and calling it minimalist. It's pretty frustrating to me because I truly believe that minimalism can help people feel better and live a more fruitful and just a better life in general. And to call something minimalist when it's just minimalist styling, I think it's really downplaying the whole thing. And hopefully that can help people see the difference between styling and actual minimalism. So yeah, I just wanted to wrap it up that way, and just again, I love you guys. I probably subscribe to all your channels as well. Just this pretty funny thing. So yeah, I hope that helps. I hope this video helps. All right, anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.